Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we will be talking about flow state. What is it? How can we enter it? What are the benefits? And what is blocking us from reaching it? Throughout the video, I will be including the references, and that might be on the screen or in the top right corner, and they're all going to be in the description. So if you are interested in the full article where I grabbed most of this information from, please refer to them. As well, just check them out because some of them are amazing websites that just have so much information, and they're super underrated. So to start the video off, let's talk about what is flow state. So I'll start off with the wordy definition, which is flow state is the fully optimal mental state characterized by deep absorption during challenging tasks. I don't even know what the fuck that means. But if we look at the easiest and the more understand definition, flow state is being completely involved in an activity. This means that every action, movement, and thought follows from the previous one. So the idea is that you have thoughts going on, like should I build the wall here? And then your action does it, and it's all just flowing together, hence the name flow state. So here's going to be a little example of flow state is everyone should remember the 1v3 clutch from Sprite during the reboot round. And if he messed up at any point during this clutch, he would have died. Like that would have been it. But he was able to enter flow state because he has a high level of skill, and I'm assuming he enjoys the game. High level of skill, a high enjoyment for the game, high motivation to do well because it is a reboot round, so he needs to win the game. And it's in a really high challenging scenario because he's up against other pros. All of this together allows him to enter the flow state and make this fucking insane play that he gives us. So I'll put that up on the screen now.
Alright, it pulls up the mountain, bro.
I know. We need to try to get something.
I'm dead on low ground. Oh, he's right. Team on low ground. Nice. Slurpers and floppers behind you. 40 seconds until zone.
What? 3 slurfish. Pop. Nice. 300 mats. 200 mats. You're full trio. You got a green one. Nice.
You have slurfish.
7 bills. Pop slurp.
7 builds. Top 2. 1v2.
Top
1v2.
two.
1v2. You have 1 slurfish.
Pop a slurfish. 13 bills.
Going up. Nice. He has to go through a building.
1 builds. 4 builds.
He has to go through a building.
Nice. Got your finish. No more builds.
He's going up.
So what does flow state actually do? I'm going to link an article right now on the screen where I got this information from, so go check that out. It's going to be in the description if you want to. But it says here that flow state can increase motivation and productivity by 500%, improve your creativity by 400 to 700%, and increase your learning and memory retention by 230%. These statistics are insane, and it leaves you wondering how many pros can flick the switch to enter flow state easily. Like how many of them are just, they're playing insane. You wonder how the fuck are they able to do that? And it's because they're entering this flow state where they're already, miles ahead of the average player, but they're even pushing it farther because they're able to enter flow state. So flow state can really be broken down into 2 main factors. The first is the environmental factors, and environmental factors are mainly about feeling comfortable in the space you are in, as well as the game and position you are in. So first off, let's talk about feeling comfortable in the space you are in. This is, in your city, in your town, in your house, in a certain room, feeling like, you can just play, you can have a good time. You almost just feel, comfortable. An example of this is I recently watched the video by Rise Hub. I can never say his name right, but amazing YouTuber. I'll link his stuff in the description as well. He has so much good information on his channel, and I'd highly recommend watching him if you don't already. Basically, in the video, he stated that Kami, Seti, and Teak played for a lot of the FNCSs in London, and for the first week, and they did horrible compared to what they normally do, and they didn't even qual. And then they moved back to Poland, and they all played there where they're comfortable, and they fucking dominated. They played grand finals there and won it by a landslide. So that's just proof there that they were, for whatever reason, they all felt uncomfortable in London, but felt like being back at home, in their comfortable space allows them to actually play better, and that's what they ended up doing. So now let's talk about the game in position. And what is the game in position? Well, think about it how you'd like to set up your desk. Okay, I like to have my keyboard slanted a little bit down. That allows my thumb to hit spacebar and other like B, V, G, H, N. And I almost like to be sitting in a completely straight up position, and I like my full elbow, my hand, my forearm, and my elbow is on the desk. But for my keyboard, my elbow is off the desk, and that's just how I like it. So get into whatever your position is, and then you know how they at crime scenes how they tape where the body outline is. Do that as well, but with your own tape, obviously. Well, duh. And that way you can figure out what your exact position is, and then when you get down to start practicing or playing, you can almost sink into this position and then start playing. So the second main factor is your mental state. And this is probably the biggest one in terms of how to actually enter the flow state. The environmental factors will help with your mental state as well as sinking in and everything like that, but the mental state is just huge, and it has a direct correlation with your ability to enter it. The rest of the video is going to be breaking down, what mental factors you need to have to be able to enter the flow state, as well as what's stopping you from entering it. So right now up on the screen, you're going to see an article from FPScoach.com. This website's fucking insane. It has so much information from a ton of FPS games. Honestly, I'm going to be using this shit a lot, either for my own research or for future videos, because it's actually wild how much information they have. Anyway, they stated that the best mental factors that will allow you to enter flow state are, so number one, the player must believe they can be successful and meet the physical, technical, and mental challenges they will face. Confidence is critical, otherwise you'll be in a state of anxiety and fear, and we all know being anxious and being fearful is not a good way to improve, and you will not get better at the game or win your fights. So number two, players must be resilient when it comes to frustration, stress, and adversity. The more you practice, the more time you put into preparing, the more it'll boost your confidence. So number three, flow state and routines are interconnected. Routines are recipes for consistency, and that can help lay the foundation to create a more straightforward path to flow states. Routines are also important outside of your desired game. So keeping a consistent, balanced, and healthy routine throughout the day will allow your mind to identify and prepare for when you should be entering flow state. So number four, creating a realistic and set goal allows you to have a clear vision of what exactly you should put your energy into when practicing. Goals can also be implemented on the fly. So for example, you're playing arena and during the match, you throw in a goal like, I'm going to win the next fight. I'm going to get top 10. I'm going to triple my points. I'm going to get 10 kills, or even something as simple, I'm going to win my drop spot. I'm going to win my building in Pleasant. Something as simple as that. That way you can look at your goals and get them done. They're realistic, and if you don't get them done, you can also just be like, okay, well, whatever, it was on the fly. The next one would be better. So now the next is that we're going to talk about what's stopping you from entering the flow state. So the first thing that is stopping you from entering the flow state, and this is from the eZone Esports article, which I'll link up on the screen right now, is being too aware of things around your environment that may block you from focusing on the task ahead. So that's stuff like you have a lot of pets running around, your family's really loud, you have a pending task to do, so schoolwork, job, you have kids, something like that, something that just is stopping your environment, and it's just kind of interfering with your hyper focused ability to get into the zone. It's like meditating. Okay, it's hard to meditate when you have kids upstairs, or whatever kids do that are loud. So the second thing is overthinking in the moment. Thinking too much when you're trying to enter flow state may leave you feeling overwhelmed and therefore not playing with max confidence. So when you're in the moment and you're literally fighting, so either you're ramping up or you're in the box or whatever, try to stop thinking. And I know that sounds weird. What do you mean stop thinking? I mean, just let your natural abilities win the fight. Don't try to be thinking about what is he going to do, what am I going to do, blah, 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 blah. Just let yourself play. And then if you end up winning the fight or losing the fight, go back in the VOD and try to see, what changed. What mistakes did you make there? Because that's your natural ability if you actually let it happen. So if you lose the fight, go back in, see how you made your mistakes, write them down, and then when you're practicing creative, try to fix them the best you can, and then implement that into your real game. Now, if you win the fight, still go back in the VOD, and if it's a good fight, go back in the VOD and watch it from your opponent's perspective and see what mistakes they made and how you capitalized on that. And that will also boost your confidence because you're doing all that naturally. You shouldn't be really thinking about it too much. So number three, sorry, is keeping your inner speech positive. So that's like, in your mind, you're thinking, oh, fuck, I missed that shot. But it shouldn't be. It should just be, I just cracked this guy. I'm way better than this guy. You ever hear streamers and they go shit on, this guy just got shit on. I'm so much better than this guy. Like, whatever. They're keeping their confidence high, even when, and some people would be at a low. So keep your inner thoughts positive. And that way you can trust yourself to be in a comfort zone and therefore enter the flow state. Letting the negative emotions like frustration, anxiety, and anger get to you while you are playing is only hindering your gameplay. It might feel like you're like, oh, I'm so like, fuck this game, I hate this game, whatever. But now you're already in that mindset where you're like, oh, like, why am I playing this game? And then you're not going to do any better unless you can somehow find a way to jump back into the positive mindset. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. This is how to enter the flow state. Again, please refer to all the references. Next video, no idea what is it going to be yet. I guess you'll know when you see it. But yeah, cheers.